It says, enjoy your book. Enjoy in air quotes. Hey guys, it's Mackenzie or Legend Wings back with my friend Kaylee, and today we're bringing to you 3 wonderful chapters of this great book known as Modelland.
And we're excited because we're almost done.
So excited. Like about 4 more episodes to record, 3 after this one's done. It's what's keeping us pushing through and trudging on.
See the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's just there. It's a little glimmer.
Or is it like a light at like the end of a runway? I don't know. There's not really. I can't really make like a comparison to that.
I don't know, but all these flashes, all this craziness has been kind of distracting. Last time there was one chapter and it was a giant competition.
Yep. Brav was an ass.
Brav was an ass, but he sacrificed himself because he felt bad.
Not quite as big of an ass as we thought.
But he's still somebody you don't want to date because he's unstable. And then Tookie got a smize. Is anybody surprised? Because Tookie's gotten a smize before, technically, but Miracle took it. So, anyway, on to chapter 38. Left, right, left. It sounded like the whole arboretum was screaming. There were clangs, then shouts, then a blaring fire alarm. Tookie blinked in the darkness. She couldn't see a thing. A voice yelled in her ear, "It's me, Shiraz! Come! I see perfect!" Shiraz grabbed Tookie and led her off the plank, back through the prep zone, and down to the ground. As she hit the earth, she felt the smize flutter away from her face. She tried to grab for it, but the rice paper thin talisman had disappeared into the darkness. "Where are the others?" she whispered. "Here," 2 voices said in unison. It was Dylan and Piper. Inside, panicking man-attacked spectators pushed and screamed. Shiraz muscled through an unnoticed door, and the girls stumbled through it. Tookie looked back at the orb arena. The rumbling of trapped spectators practically shook the steel struts. "We created this chaos," she cried. "We can't just leave them in there."
Yes, you can. That's the whole point of creating a distraction to escape. Oh my god.
"We gotta get out of here now," Dylan said. "We made an opportunity. Now we gotta take it."
Thank you.
"Not only did I find out where the switch was," Piper said as she panted out of breath, "I found the emergency zip-zap too. It's exactly where you said it was. Come on." They ran to the stadium. Now completed, it was massive. Its elaborate architecture cast eye-patterned reflections on the ground. The girls scampered up a path cordoned off by a metal banner, across which scrolled blinking words that read, "No entry until the 7-7 tournament." Making sure no one saw them, Tookie and her friends scooted around the blockade. Before she went into the stadium, Tookie turned back, exhaled, and took one final look at Modelland. Goodbye, Kamalini. Goodbye, Guru Laro. Goodbye, Dr. Erica. Goodbye, Bravo. "It's time, Tookie," Piper urged. Tookie ducked under the banner. Instantly, Piper rushed down 4 flights of stairs into the depths of the stadium, the girls right behind her. A giant pile of stones lay in front of them. Following Piper's lead, they began lifting the rocks until a horizontal zip-zap flush with the ground appeared under the rubble. It had jagged, pointed, rusty teeth and a zipper pulled that flamed crimson, as if warning not to touch it. Taking a deep breath, Tookie yanked it open. Ouch! It was hot to the touch. A whirlpool of thick, hot air and reddish liquid bit inside. "Ooh, his blood?" Shiraz wondered out loud, holding tightly to Dylan's hand. Muted screams streamed out from the deep. "Let's go," Tookie said, and then, after a slight hesitation, she fell straight backward and disappeared into the hole. Embrake.
How did Piper find this? If it's still buried.
Okay. She found the light switch and then found this somehow, and they were in 2 different areas. Okay. But I like this embrake that happens with no time passage.
I hate this. It's a lawless place.
This is a lawless book.
It's lawless.
Tyra's a lawless woman. The girls' bodies twisted around the curves of the zip-zap. It was pitch black inside the tunnel. Terrifying growling and wailing sounds echoed off its walls. The tunnel surface was hot, burning through the girl's clothing and singeing Tookie's bare legs. Everyone yelped in pain. Suddenly, the path leveled off. Tookie saw a fork straight ahead. Left or right? Left or right? Tookie screamed. I think we should go left. No, right, Shiraz answered. Left, Piper said. No, right, Dylan said. Tookie leaned to the right. The girls did the same. They whipped through a new tube. Gradually, a pinprick of light appeared at the end of the tunnel. Where would they end up? In the doorknob or in the diabolic divide? Tookie's heart thumped. The light grew closer and closer. Dylan screamed. As they reached the end, they picked up speed, their bodies whipping against the tube, and then suddenly, thump! The girls fell into a pool of thick red mud. The air smelled charred and rotten. There were no telltale signs of the Dornell anywhere. No buildings, no streets, no cars. Tookie looked into the air and saw 4 fireballs shooting straight toward them. We're in the divide, she screamed. Get back in the zip-zap! They all tried to stand, but the mud sucked them downward. Tookie rose, and then fell face first in the mud. It stung her eyes. I got you, Tookie yelled. From somewhere deep within, she found the strength to rise. She then reached down and, one at a time, pulled Piper, Dylan, and Shiraz free. Hurry up! Tookie screamed over the sound of crackling flames. Back in the zip-zap! Just before the 4 fireballs were about to consume them, the girls jumped back into the zip-zap. Tookie took the left fork, and the girls continued to slide, until... Splash! Tookie's nose burned with the scent and taste of chlorine. Blue-gray buildings rose around her. The moon hung high in the sky overhead. A few lonely cars whipped around a traffic circle. Beyond it was the mist-covered mountain of Modelland. She looked down and saw water lapping at her neck. She looked to the side and saw a statue of Mayor Devin Rump standing beside her. They were in a fountain in Modelland.
Okay. They just built up this zip-zap of one way is salvation, the other is certain death. And there were no consequences.
At all.
For taking the wrong path.
2 seconds of panic in which I thought for sure they weren't going to be able to get back in because it was gone. And no, they got back in. And they turned left, which should have sent them back to Modelland if they followed the same directions.
Yep. Because they take the right fork. Coming back if they go left.
Yeah. If they go left, they're going to go back to Modelland.
Also, if a path is going down and then, forks off, it's not going to, essentially fork back the other... Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of a fork. It's not the same way. But anyway, yes, regardless, if they go left, they're going to go back to Modelland.
It's like, Tyra started to write this and was like, shoot, I can't put these girls through this. Oh, shit, my eraser's not working. Well, they just went left.
Perfect excuse. To just be like, oh, look, Creamy and Miracle are here.
I know, that's what I was expecting.
Miracle can be like, no, I don't want to go.
100%. I was waiting for Creamy reached down and grabbed Tookie's arm and pulled Tookie out of the mud or whatever. And not, Tookie overcame the mud. What is this?
Tookie broke free from her paralysis.
Yeah, Tookie broke free from the... Tookie cured herself and... Oh, disappointment. She looked down and saw water lapping at her neck. She looked to the side and saw a statue of Mayor Devin Rump standing beside her. They were in a fountain in Oladurno. We made it! We made it! Dylan yelped. She splashed over to Tookie and gave her a huge hug. And you were right! We should have gone left! Piper waded over and hugged Tookie, and then Shiraz did too. Now what? Dylan said, tucking a clump of wet blonde hair behind her ear. Once they broke free, they looked around at one another, suddenly realizing something. I guess we go our separate ways, Piper pointed out what they were all thinking. I'll find my way back to Sans Color and to Mother, the Queen. She made a face. And to Candelabra, Shiraz said mostly. Well, I can deliver good news to the people, but not to me. Oh, but no to me. I'll hop a train or something to Bo Big Tika, I guess, Dylan murmured. Back to the customer service desk, back to the life confined in the store. Her jaw trembled slightly. She gazed up at the mountain.
You don't have to be confined to the store.
You don't have to go back. In fact, don't go back to where you came from, because they will find you. They're going to notice you're gone, and where are they going to look first? Where your family and friends are.
Yep. Did they not think of this?
Of course not.
Okay.
They think they're safe because they got out, and that's not true. And I'm waiting for this to all be a dream, too.
No.
Just wait for it.
Oh. Don't even put that out there.
It's going to be like, and they thought they were in Ladorno, but it was all part of the gases that swarmed the diabolical divide. They were seeing things. What do I do now? Tookie said aloud, not expecting an answer. Suddenly, Dylan's face fell. She stared at something in the sky. Tookie. Her voice shook. Run! To Tookie's horror, she saw Tilda's familiar pouch in flying mode. It swooped ominously above them, dropping lower and lower with each rotation. She was coming after them.
No, duh! She told them she'd find them.
She said 100% she was coming for them. The girls screamed and clambered out of the fountain, running down an alley, ducking under fire escapes and around garbage containers, and climbing over fences, see Tilda's pouch in pursuit. They skidded to a stop in an open manhole cover. They scooted down the ladder and ran through a labyrinth of dark, steaming tunnels. Where do we go now? Shiraz yelled. We're heading north by the northeast, Piper advised. Head up the next ladder we find. 50 steps later, they found a ladder leading up through an open manhole. Tookie scrambled up and out once more, emerging in the deserted town square. She looked around at the marble ground and the giant clock in the center. This is where Metopia's T-Dot is held, she realized. It looked so empty and desolate, devoid of people, walkers, souvenir sellers. The clock tower loomed in the corner, and various fountains spewed water on all sides. Immense billboards of Intoxibellas, Evangelinda, and Bev Joe decorated the sides of buildings. See, I knew we were going to mention these girls eventually again.
Once. Are we going to go through all 7?
Yes, we are, don't you know? Because they're probably all going to be pertinent later, but not.
Once more. An entire chapter wasted.
As Tookie spun around, she noticed a telltale question mark-shaped crack in the pavement and felt a clenching in her stomach. This was the exact point where Tilda had selected her for Modelland. Right here, on the edge of the square, Tilda had appeared out of the top of the car, extending her hand to Tookie. Over miracle, over everything. She gazed up at the mist-covered mountain once more, a pang of regret and nostalgia mixing inside of her. So much had happened. She felt like an entirely different person. You kind of are based on how you're written.
Yep.
And yet she was in the exact same place she'd started. A strange scratching sound emerged from behind a nearby trash can. Shiraz grabbed Tookie's arm. What's that? I don't know, Tookie whispered. Shh. The scratching noises intensified. Something breathed raspily in and out, in and out. A dog? A cat? What if it's Tilda, Piper whispered. Tookie stepped back, her heart thudding hard. But before she could turn around and maybe make yet another escape, something larger than a cat climbed out of the trash can. A burr-riddled, red-locked redhead dressed in a hospital gown, a series of fresh cuts and burns on her arms. Tookie's jaw dropped. Oh my God, she whispered. Lizzie. Lizzie's eyes locked with Tookie's, and she let out a joyful yet mournful yelp. The two girls ran for each other, crashing together hard. We're just going to forget about the fact we're being chased right now.
It's fine.
We totally lost her.
It's fine.
After a long embrace, Lizzie stuck her hands out to her sides, palms up. Tookie did the same. Both girls pointed to the sky, then made a motion as if checking their underarms for a scent, then did a curtsy. What's up, hot queen? They cried together. Lizzie stared at Tookie's arm, which was still adorned with a long ruby bracelet from Manatech. You really are a queen today, girl, she whooped. You have no idea, Lizzie. Tookie had felt like a queen with the smize. It had fallen off after Manatech, we know. I wonder where it went. Maybe one of the crazed Bellas back in the Orb Arena had found and pocketed it. Maybe the lifeys.
This is not the time.
There's not at all the time for any of this nonsense.
That's horribly wrong.
The Unikas watched them, cocking their heads, trying to make sense of the reunion. Then Tookie grabbed Lizzie's hands. Is it really you, Lizzie? I was sure you'd be gone by now. Oh no, Lizzie shook her head. I've been waiting for you, Tookie. Right here, all day, every day. Well, I hide in the daytime, of course. They see me during the day. They keep looking for me. But every night, I'm right here in that trash can. I saw you get chosen. Your face was huge for the world to see on the big screen on T-Dod. Then Lizzie trembled a bit, looked down at her feet and said, I always told you that you were special. I'm sorry, Tookie said, her worst fear had come true. Lizzie had seen her take that scout's hand. She remembered how Lizzie had stood in her driveway the morning of T-Dod, how she'd let out that scream, thinking Tookie had abandoned her. I wanted to escape with you, Lizzie, but they threw me into the car. I was stuck. Tears fell from her eyes. All this time, she feared that Lizzie had hated her for leaving. I understand, Lizzie said. I mean, at first I was confused, and hurt, and angry. But it's you, Tookie. I know you wouldn't do that to me. I knew you'd come back. Tookie put both hands to Lizzie. She didn't come back for you. That's the fun point. Tookie put both hands to Lizzie's face. I did come back, Lizzie. Guilt shot through her body. Yes, she was back. But the reason for her trip was not to be with Lizzie, but to dodge danger and death. Still, Tookie continued, because the look in Lizzie's eyes felt like home. And I'm ready for Exodus. Really ready. Let's go. Right now. Lizzie gazed into Tookie's eyes and nodded, her eyes filled with sad joy. Really? Really, Tookie turned and grinned at Shiraz, Dylan, and Piper. This is Lizzie, guys, my very best friend from Peppertown. When she turned back to Lizzie, Lizzie's expression had changed from bright and lucid to something tortured and crazed. She looked at the sky, her eyes stricken with fear. They're coming for me! She shrieked. Tookie and the other Unikas gazed at the sky, too. Cetilda L's pouch whizzed past her own billboard, which now read, Where the hell is Cetilda L? Damn it, we need her! Lizzie started to shiver and convulse. Her eyes locked on Cetilda L. Then, turning, she broke out into a run down the city streets. Lizzie! Tookie screamed, chasing after her. Don't scream! The Unikas followed. Lizzie, where are you going? Come back! She pounded down the Ladorno streets, passing spas, high-end hotels, jewelers, exclusive nightclubs, all kinds of things she used to dream about as a single girl in Peppertown. But she barely noticed them right now, the storefronts streaking past. Lizzie! She screamed again, catching a glimpse of Lizzie's bright red hair rounding a corner. She looked over her shoulder to tell Shiraz, Piper, and Dylan to hurry up. But they were gone. Her stomach twisted. No! Tookie walked in circles on the sidewalk, wondering which way to go. Just then, a huffing, puffing bus from Peppertown, the only one that trekked into Ladernal, pulled up beside her. Vigorous knocks pounded on the windows. Tookie looked up and her heart lifted. Shiraz, Dylan, and Piper were inside. Get in now, Piper mouthed through the window. Tookie peered up the steps. The freckled driver grinned down at her. Come on the board, he said in broken English, it might as well be, with an accent that sounded just like Shiraz's. Your little Labian friend. Oh, my Candela was so proud of her. She'd tell me you flight. I'd help you get away from crazy flying lady. When did this happen? Just now. Apparently when Tookie's running in circles. That's why I gotta believe this is all like, she's tripping on something, imagining what if they got to Ladorno.
What is going on? Okay.
Tookie climbed aboard and gazed at Shiraz, who shrugged and shot the driver her best car expression, which made him break into a googly, I'll do anything you want smile. It seemed they had learned something valuable at Modelland after all. Where's your friend? Piper asked. Tookie looked around desperately. She couldn't even form the words that she lost Lizzie again. It couldn't be happening. Oh my God! Dylan gazed to the side of the window. There she is! Who? Lizzie? Tookie asked, brightening. No! Dylan screamed. Tookie followed Dylan's gaze. Cetilda L soared through the sky. But then, suddenly, Unsaid appeared on either side of the bus as well, keeping pace with the speeding vehicle.
Oh no!
She's using her power of multiplicity, Tookie thought. Now there are 3 Unsaid trying to kill us.
Ninja, use double team!
Oh crap.
Down that alley, Piper commanded the driver. He turned down a corner fast, losing the 2 Unsaid that flanked the bus. At the opening on the other end of the alley, Tookie could see the obscure obelisk towering in the sky, all lit up by the moon. She was surprised Mayor Rump hadn't taken them down yet.
This time not working right? Is this not how it's supposed to be? You might have called it.
It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be, because otherwise how are they gonna run into Creamy again unless they, I gotta go back. They're not going to at this point unless they're not back.
Yeah.
So Creamy's gonna say, I promise I haven't looked ahead. I've got 1 page left. I'm gonna guarantee that's what's gonna happen here. There's Unsaid! Dylan screamed. All of her are landing! Tookie whipped around and saw the 3 Unsaid skid to a stop on the bricks behind them, 3 pouches retracting into their arms. As soon as the 3 Unsaid noticed the bus, a determined look settled over their identical faces, and they sprinted after it again. Faster! Shiraz ordered the bus driver. You gots it! The Lavria man sped down the alley toward the obelisk, hydroplaning on the slick street. The bus then hit a pothole, sending the girls flying out of their seats. When Tookie scrambled up again, one of the Unsaid was right alongside the bus, staring through the window at them. Everyone screamed. Dylan looked like she might faint. Have the mercy! Shiraz wails. Then Tookie looked out the front windshield. Ahead of them stood Lizzie, frozen, staring at the ominous bus. Don't run! Tookie screamed at her through the glass. Lizzie, stay right there! Lizzie blinked, then stared at something on the ground. It glinted in the moonlight. She bent down to pick it up. Tookie stared at the shiny, sharp metal object in Lizzie's hand. Lizzie then raised it and brought it down onto her inner wrist.
Oh.
No! Tookie wailed. The bus sped fast through the alley. A lone shopkeeper locked up his store, then headed into the alleyway right in front of the bus. The driver slammed on the brakes, and the bus lurched to the left. Everyone screamed and shot forward. Tookie's head hit the windshield, and she immediately felt a jab of white-hot pain. And then everything went black.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 39. Breathless Sister Friends. Searing pain pulsed at Tookie's scalp. The cold ground chilled her bones. After a moment, she opened her eyes. The night stars and round moon glowed overhead. The obscure obelisks towered off to the left, 3 giant spikes in the sky. Where was she? The last thing she remembered was Lizzie picking up a piece of sharp metal and... Tookie shot up. The bus lay on its side next to the obscure obelisk. Its windshield smashed, its tires flattened, its front end crumpled. The driver was nowhere to be seen. Dylan? Shiraz? Piper? Tookie called quietly, her heart hammering. Please make them be okay, she silently willed. Over here, Dylan's voice meekly responded. All of us. Are you hurt? Tookie scrambled toward them. No, Piper said weakly. Shiraz murmured that she was all right, too. Tookie peered into the darkness. One friend left to find. Lizzie? She cried. Nothing. Tookie leapt to her feet. Lizzie! She called louder. Lizzie! Again, nothing. Tears began to spill down her cheeks. No! No! The image of Lizzie slamming the sharp metal into her wrist swam through her mind. She had failed Lizzie again. And then everything just came to a head. Everything Tookie had been through. People walking over her like she was trash during every SPLD. The daily fear that the uniquers were going to be mutilated and murdered. Zizi's nasty secrets and cruel spirit. Tookie's toothbrush bulging in her father's pocket on its way to prove she wasn't his. Gannero's mean taunts. Feeling unlovable, then loved, then humiliated by Bravo. Every second, every minute of her existence suddenly erupted like lava from a long, dormant volcano. How could I have lost you again? Tookie wailed louder, her voice echoing into the night. Why do I keep letting you down? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The sobs made her buck and shudder. Her wails were so intense they reverberated off the mountain in stereo. This is really good for hiding.
Yeah, it's great for hiding.
Finally, Tookie stopped, held her breath, and looked around. Even though she'd quit crying, the wails kept coming. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Tookie spun around in the direction of the noise. Was that someone else sobbing? A figure kneeled at the base of the obscure obelisk, and then, thwack! A twisted reed struck in the moonlight, landing on the figure's back. Blood rose through the figure's thin shirt. Thwack, thwack. Oh my God, Tookie whispered. C-tilde-L. Before Tookie's eyes, C-tilde-L, and only one C-tilde-L this time, not three, started to claw at herself. Tears mixed with blood streamed down her face. I'm sorry, she wailed, her voice raw. I'm sorry! She tore at her shirt to get down to her bare flesh. Huge new welts rose on her skin. Older ones were still an angry colloided? An angry colloided red?
That's all.
The blood dripped down her back, pooling on the ground. Tookie gasped. C-tilde-L raised her head and spied Tookie. Her eyes widened. Her mouth became tense and hard. Her nostrils flared. She stood and advanced toward Tookie with her bloody hands outstretched. Her expression unhinged and twisted. Her hair snarled around her face. Tookie backed away, her heart fluttering madly in her chest. But instead of running away again, Tookie mustered up all her courage and stood firm. It didn't make sense to keep running. C-tilde-L would just find them again and again and again. Take me, she said softly to the advancing C-tilde-L. Experiment on me instead of my friends. Torture me, sacrifice me, kill me. Let them live. C-tilde-L halted in her tracks and stared at her. After a moment, she started to tremble. She covered her face with her hand and turned away. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. All one word and italicized.
Nice.
She began to moan once more. Tookie frowned. What's happening to you? She demanded. Why are you crying? She certainly hadn't expected this from C-tilde-L. Rage? Yes. Fury? Certainly. Painful death at her hands? Absolutely. But not desperate sobs. It's my fault, C-tilde-L blubbered into the concrete. It's my fault. My fault. She could hardly get the words out through her choking sobs. Tookie blinked at her. The sacrifices. Clearly, C-tilde-L was racked with guilt over what she'd done to earlier sacrificial girls, perhaps to become a 777. Again, you don't really have proof.
You don't have any proof for it.
Then C-tilde-L turned to Dylan, Piper, and Shiraz. With all my powers, I should have been able to save you, she screamed. The girls looked at each other confused. Save them? Tookie repeated in a whisper. I don't think she is meaning Unikas, Shiraz said. C-tilde-L took in huge gulps of air, whirling around to face the obelisk. I miss you so much. Then she collapsed onto the base of the obelisk, her forehead against the tallest pillar. Every day I told you that you were good enough, special enough, beautiful enough, that you deserved to be at Modelland. All I wanted was for you to know how amazing you were, how perfect you were, just as you were. I'm wondering. I don't know how Liz is connected. I think we're going to see here in just a minute.
I think it's just some random connection to make that now.
I should have shut the hell up when I noticed your night sweats, your headaches, your bulging veins. It's my fault you got sick and caught the... Who is she talking to? Piper murmured. She needs to be hospitalized. Then C-tilde-L rose once more and turned to the mountain. You killed them! She yelled to the mountain, her whole body shaking. Bloody murder! She turned back to the obelisks. I searched for you, she moaned. I searched and searched. I couldn't find you, but I kept searching, and then I found you underneath. I dug and dug and dug till my hands bled, and there you were. C-tilde-L smiled dazedly as though in a dream. All three of you. I don't know how long you were buried, but you still look so beautiful to me.
Jeez.
And we were together again. But you didn't wake up. You wouldn't open your eyes.
Oh, jeez.
And C-tilde-L whirled and pulled on Tookie's arm. Tookie reared back, afraid, but C-tilde-L's face was crumpled and extremely vulnerable. Help me, Tookie, C-Tilde-L whispered. Help me open their eyes. Help me wake them up. Tookie stared at the Intoxibella. All at once, everything she'd assumed about C-Tilde-L flipped upside down. She still wasn't sure what was tormenting the Intoxibella, but one thing was certain. C-Tilde-L was not guilty of murder. That you know of, but on the other hand, I think you still have it's a huge red herring, so.
Yeah.
The guilt she felt right now was over something far more abstract, something like bereavement and failure. When Tookie didn't move, C-Tilde-L groaned and fingered the reed on the ground, preparing it for her back once more. Moving quickly, Tookie reached out and grabbed her wrist. C-Tilde-L, stop it! C-Tilde-L paused and stared at her through cloudy, dazed eyes. Please, C-Tilde-L. Tookie sank to her knees in front of her. Give me the reed. You can't do this to yourself. Not anymore. C-Tilde-L clutched the reed hard. I deserve this. I need to pay for what I've done. Her eyes darted to Dylan, Piper, and Shiraz. I need to pay for not saving you. C-Tilde-L, look at me, Tookie commanded. You're not talking about them, are you? She asked tentatively, gesturing to her friends. You're talking about someone else, right? Someone who died in the diabolical divide? C-Tilde-L shut her eyes tightly, as though reliving some terrible, debilitating pain all over again. My sister friends from home. Pendle, Woodland, and Catherine. When I became a 777 Intoxibella, the first thing I did after the tournament was teleport back home so I could celebrate with the three of them. I told them they were worthy, that Modelland's rules were ridiculous, and that they deserved to be there more than I did. Pendle was so beautiful, so voluptuous, with bright lavender eyes. Woodland's hair and skin were pale and luminescent like a full moon, and Catherine was so tiny and had the cutest freckles and the most luxurious curly brown hair. Tookie flinched. She looked over her shoulder at Dylan, Shiraz, and Piper. Their mouths hung open in shock. C-Tilde-L turned back to C-Tilde-L. Tookie turned...
I was a little confused, but I wasn't that surprised.
Tookie turned back to C-Tilde-L. So what happened that got you in so much trouble with the belladonna? C-Tilde-L shut her eyes. Because of my sixth sense of power, I feel things intensely. I was living in an amazing penthouse in Ladorno, and my sister friends would visit me every day after I finished with photo shoots, runaways, posing for my picture on Utopian Money, being the guest of honor at parties thrown by royalty, worldwide televised poetry slams, and autograph signings. My life was an insane dream overnight, but I would always, every day, run back to them. But when a week passed and there was no sign of them, I knew something was wrong, and I knew exactly where to go, to the divide. The creatures there are like things you wouldn't even see in your worst nightmares, and there were moments I wasn't sure I'd get through it alive. But I found my sister friends, one by one. 2 were buried, and I dug up their bodies with my bare hands. I was planning to trot their bodies through Ladorno, my own personal parade to show the world. It was time people understood that Modelland's narrow beauty ideals are flawed and in need of a change. But Gennaro got wind of my plan and went on a search for me. Luckily, I heard about his pursuit before he caught me, so I quickly created this monument in my sister friend's honor and buried them here. She pointed to the obelisks. I couldn't parade their bodies through the town square, but this was the next best thing I could do, and I gave myself up to him. I can see why C-Tilde-L's plan got shot down. You know, dragging dead bodies through the square and through the city.
No matter for what cause, if Gennaro was for or against, he'd still say, no, please don't drag these carcasses through the square. Please, it's disturbing.
Like, no, bad idea. Yeah. Dylan backed up from the 3 pillars. Wait, there are dead bodies under here? Body girl, Shiraz whispered. C-Tilde-L nodded and fought back another sob. That's why the belladonna has been punishing me. Piper rocked on her heels. Why didn't Ladorno just demolish the 3 obelisks when they first went up? C-Tilde-L wiped her bloody hands on her shirt. Most people in Ladorno thought the obelisks were some kind of mystical sign, and in the 6 months after I put them here, tourism increased tenfold, so the mayor allowed them to stay. The Belladonna demanded they be taken down, but she has absolutely no jurisdiction over Utopia, so she takes her frustration out on me. How did Citadel create these?
Magic powers.
Okay. I don't remember that being a Intoxibella power, but
It's
okay.
like the magic here is lawless, remember? We have
that's
fountains spewing from nothing.
That's true. Suddenly, Citeldel's face twisted with pain, and she gripped her stomach and raised the reed to beat herself once more. Tookie caught her arm. Don't. Please. What happened is not your fault. You can't literally beat yourself up over this. You were chosen to be an Intoxibella, a 777, Citildel. You've used your fame to spread your message all over the world, and everyone loves you. Your friends? Yes, they're dead, gone forever, but they still live inside of you. And now, inside of Piper and Shiraz and Dylan.
No.
Maybe it's time to let them go. Let their souls rest, so that you can rest. Citildel shook her head. But Tookie, I feel like my soul is dead. I feel so lost, like I've gone insane.
Not like. You have.
Yeah.
You were on the very brink of insanity, if nothing else.
With all due respect, Citildel, I must agree with your last statement, Piper murmured. Me too, Shiraz said. You cry lots, but how we know you still won't do the tortures to us? The killings? Citildel flinched. Hold up. Kill you? First there was the experimenting, Shiraz clarified, and then the killings. Citildel blinked hard. Killing? Are you serious? Did you realize how I rebelled to get you 3 to Modelland? The rules I broke? On the day of discovery, you weren't on the list they gave me. I got rid of that thing and specifically chose you 3 instead. So we really weren't on the list, Piper said morosely. No, you weren't, Citildel shrugged. The only one who was on the list was Tookie. She was the first pickup, and when I saw how unusual looking she was, I thought maybe this was my chance. I could be a renegade, pick girls I wanted, girls who could make up for Hendel's, Woodland's, and Catherine's deaths. It was my experiment, my grand project. But why me? Tookie blurted out. Why did Modelland want me on the list? You just said I'm unusual looking. Citildel raised her hands helplessly. I'm sorry, Tookie. I don't know. Shiraz still didn't look convinced. But you looking at us so strangely in class, she protested. You give us evil eye, like you want to squash us like bug. Citildel winced. If I've been looking at you like that, I'm sorry. It's just, you remind me so much of them. Your spunk, your sassiness, your intelligence. Do you know how refreshing it is to have girls like you at Modelland? It's never been done before. So sometimes I stare at you and I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I actually got you to Modelland. I can't believe I figured out a way to get the Belladonna to keep you there. And then I get flashbacks of my sister friends and my mind starts doing crazy things. I'm sorry if I scared you. It was a combination of crazy and tough love. But I feel like you're making a huge leap for all of us, for girls everywhere. You too, Tookie. Don't think you're excluded from this. Okay, she's also threatened to kill them and hunt them down.
Mm-hmm. She is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
we can confirm she's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
She's lost it.
Tookie and the others exchanged uncertain glances. Tookie thought of the terrifying conversation she'd overheard in the Belladonna's chambers not long ago, and realized she'd had it all wrong. They were Citeldel's experiments, all right, but not in the way she thought. Gasp.
Oh, wow! Didn't see this one coming!
But we're not at Modelland anymore, Piper said slowly. She gestured around at the Ladornian skyline. Obviously. And that's why I'm here, to bring your butts back, Citildel said. How did you know we left? Tookie asked. How did you know to follow us? Also, how are they outside Modelland without being old?
Yeah.
So it's obviously like the Belladonna or Citildel or whatever fighting whoever goes outside the walls.
Yeah.
Tildell put her hands on her hips and looked down at Tookie. Girl, I have 6 sensa. One of my 777 powers, remember? That look on your face when I was taking you to man attack, I just felt that something was up. Then she checked the Kaleido watch on her wrist. Oh, lordy, they're going to notice you're gone soon, and I can just see Gannero's bitchy little face if he catches us. Then you all really won't be able to come back to Modelland. Come on now, we gots to go.
So, we don't want to go back. It's getting crazy there. You're crazy. Everybody's mean to us. Can we just go home now?
Yep. Shiraz shifted her weight. Piper tented her fingers at her breastbone, thinking. Dylan raked her hands through her long ponytails. They begin the sentence with and. And Tookie shivered in her couture underwear for man attack.
She have other clothes she got to wear? Those all fall off too.
No, those were... She didn't actually put anything on.
Oh, that's right.
Go back? Just like that. Back to their Lumiere-less B-rooms. Back to Zizi. Back to Gennaro. Back to Catwalk Corridor and the taunting, loveless belladonna and the accusation. Always the accusation that they weren't as good enough as the others. That they didn't deserve to be there. The threat that they could still be sacrificed. Maybe not by C-Tilde-L, but by someone. I can feel what you're thinking, C-Tilde-L said softly. You haven't had it easy this year, and you probably won't have it easy your whole life. I know you girls have struggled with all your baggage. But hell, we all do. You're not wrong if you don't think you belong there. You're not wrong if you don't think you belong there. So she's saying you don't belong there.
Right. You're not wrong. It just should have been worded differently.
Yeah.
You're not wrong if you think you don't belong there.
Yeah.
You're not wrong if
but
you don't
she's still telling them, no, you don't belong in Modelland.
Yeah, you don't belong here. You're on the registry.
Yep.
Bye.
Because, yeah, you don't look anything like those girls at Modelland. I know I might sound crazy, and as you know, I kind of am. But I really believe the 4 of you have the power to kick Beauty's ass and turn it on its head. Beauty really can mean so much more than what the damn belladonna dictates every 5 years. And I want all these dumbass idiots with their heads in the beauty stand to wake the hell up. But I can't do it alone. I know. I've tried. The girls glanced at each other again. If you go back to Modelland, C-Tilde-L went on, you'll be symbols. I chose you 3 because I felt you could carry out my mission. And Tookie, don't you see how much you've changed? You've become this ass kicker in Man Attack.
Yeah, because you've gone crazy and like completely changed character.
And because Bravo let her win.
And it's not even growing. It's just like she just 180'd on herself.
It's growth, just not good character growth. Not in a believable fashion. A winner. A leader. We need more girls like you at Modelland. Please come back with me. Please. Then she shook her head, gazing at them almost lovingly. Will you do it for me, at least? Will you try? Because maybe if I know you're up there, trying, maybe I can let this guilt go. She gestured to the obelisk.
Now she's gaslighting them.
Maybe I can let them rest in peace, and let the wounds on my back heal too. There was a long silence. Owls hooted in the distance. Leaves on the mountain rustled ominously. The lights from Ladorno twinkled. Tookie considered her friends. By the looks on their faces, she could tell they were thinking about exactly what she was. The positives of Modelland, all the wonderful things they'd experienced there, the amazing architecture and design, the gorgeous fabric flowers and sunsets, Zen, Kamalini, the D, the E, the classes with Guru Loro and even Guru Pacifico, the sense of belonging somewhere, even if others didn't believe they did, running toward a challenge instead of away from it, no longer being a forget-a-girl. Slowly, everyone began to smile. Dylan reached out and grabbed Tookie's hand. Tookie reached out and grabbed Shiraz's hand, and Shiraz took Piper's, who held Dylan's, completing the circle. Then Tookie broke the chain and held out her hand to C-Tilde-L. We'll only go on one condition. She gestured to the reed. Hand it over. C-Tilde-L glanced at the reed, looking at it almost like she was about to part with a piece of herself. Then she rolled her shoulders back, stood up straighter, and placed it in Tookie's hands. Promise me you'll stop this, Tookie said. Ironically, They were the exact same words she wanted to say to Lizzie about her sharp objects. She only hoped that someday she could. I'll try, C-Tilda-L agreed. You promise? Dylan asked. Yeah, Miss Big Boutique Nation, C-Tilda-L assured her. I promise. Tookie turned back to the others. She thought about how helpless she felt in the past, like she had no control of her destiny. But now she realized it was all about choices. She had much more control over her future than she ever thought she did. Then I think there's only one logical choice, isn't there? Ouch! Shiraz bellowed. Thank God, C-Tilda-L said, rolling her eyes. Y'all had me sweating bullets there, and y'all know how hard I sweat. Now let's go. Otherwise we'll miss the whole 7-7 tournament. With that, fabric flowed from C-Tilda-L's fingers. One of the jeweled tentacles that came from her body gently wiped the tears from her eyes. She glanced at the obelisk again, then walked over to them and kneeled down. I love you, Chica, she whispered, and I'll never forget you. Ever. But these girls, she gestured to the Unikas. They're going to do it for you, okay? One by one, she kissed the obelisk, starting with the tallest ivory one, then the thicker golden one, and finally the smallest speckled one. And then, with a swish of her pouch and a stretch of her arms, she swept Piper, Dylan, Shiraz, and Tookie up, up, up into the clouds, to Modelland once more.
Freedom of choice, yeah, until you made to feel bad that somebody's going to injure themselves unless you go back. That's freedom of choice, right?
There have been no consequences for any of their actions. Lizzie appeared out of nowhere and then just disappeared.
Gone.
She's got to be connected to Modelland somehow, and I don't know how.
She has
to be.
It's got to be like where C-Tilda-L feels guilty about losing her friends and was beating herself. It's got to be the same idea with Lizzie.
I don't know what's...
But find out in book 2. Chapter 40. The 7-7 tournament. I was like, why is this? I was like, why is this all in italics for like?
Why does it come back?
For like 3 pages.
Why does this come back? It wasn't a thing for like the last however many dozen chapters.
Tyra wants to visit us again. And wants to say what she wants to say to make sure her message is driven home.
What message? She's like undone it millions of times.
The message she thinks she's conveying to us.
I don't know.
Oh, my poor dear darling. You thought it was over, didn't you?
Yes, we thought we were done with your stupid voice.
But the Unikas piled into Miss Used to Be Sweet, then turned crazy, and now is sweet again, Intoxibellas pouchlet, and sailed up, up, up into the sunset the end. Darling, you should be ashamed of yourself. There's so much more to this story to tell you.
We don't need this. We know there's multiple chapters left.
We know there's more story. Like, it wasn't going to be like the end remote. No, there's freaking this other tournament thing's going to happen. There's things left unanswered. We just left route. Like, there's still stuff left. We know. Don't feed it to us. We know it's stupid.
Maybe it's not so much we're stupid, but
she would have needed it explained to herself, so she felt the need to explain it to
I don't
others.
know. Like, I know it's being mean. I hope that's not the case. Like, have a little bit more faith in your readers. I know it's like a YA novel, but the people that are reading this, they're pretty intelligent and readers. Like, just expect that your audience knows how to, like, read between the lines.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a book for 5-year-olds. It's for young adults.
Feeding us.
Don't spoon feed us the stuff twice. Let them read between the lines.
Just don't like this movie narrator voice that we've got.
It doesn't make sense. It's a lawless book.
I can't wait till she recaps everything right here, right now, in case you forgot. Because it took us 3 months to read this book. And how dare you assume otherwise?
I dare.
It was quite the shocker that C-Tilda-L was not a murderous sociopath, wasn't it, darling? No, it wasn't.
It was too contrived.
It's not surprising. Why are you saying that it is?
Because, like, we already called it way before that it's a red herring, because also Tookie's making this, like, far-off assumption.
Yeah.
Without really any proof, and then it just... Granted, yes, he did a great job of making us think Sutilda was crazy. But we had to know we knew there was something going on where it's not quite what it seems.
Might I suggest the next time you come across another vindictive, vile, venomous creature, you stop, drop, and roll around the idea that maybe the, shall I say, bitch did not spring out of her mother's birth canal that way. I can money-back guarantee that her sorrowful saga would be quite interesting, but nowhere near as juicy as this one.
There are way better stories for characters than Sutilda L.
Stop spoon-feeding us the moral of this story. Put that thought back. Cut these 3 pages, please.
Yep.
Please.
Better yet, why don't you show us about, like, we know that, like, Zizi has had, like, a very crappy life, and that plays a large factor into why she's so mean to Tookie when she thinks she can just bully her into silence. I'm not expecting Zizi to, like, do a 180. I think that wouldn't work.
Right.
But, like, you know, why couldn't she have been, like, after she comes back from her, like, mental breakdown, instead of having her, like, attack Tookie, have her thank Tookie for being like, thank you for not saying anything. Mm-hmm. And then have her not be necessarily nice to her, but just not as awful.
Yeah, not...
Show, like, a slow character growth of, like, look, yes, she was awful. We understand why. There's a lot of factors playing into that. But that's not necessarily an excuse, and you can grow from that and not continue that cycle. Why not show that? Instead of trying to, like, spoon feed us this crazy stuff about Sutilda L, where it's just like an info dump that
we really don't need to get see coming, like, in the first 20 chapters.
Yep.
It's really not that hard to figure out, Tyra. Well, it would have been more of a twist had Sutilda L been acting nice to them the whole time, and then they start hearing, like, these, you know, rumors and things going on. That would have offset you more. That, oh, she's being super nice to us because she wants to be in with us, and then she's going to trick us. And
like, have Tookie overhear the conversation between Sutilda L and the Belladonna. Don't have, like, Sutilda L, like, freak out on Tookie and Bravo. Yeah. Don't say that, like, she's going to hunt them down. Have them, like, listen to rumors that they're already on edge from what Tookie overheard. Yeah. Plus what the Belladonna says to them.
That would be just enough.
Like, here, they were already on edge from other rumors from other people. Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you just pile on all this Sutilda L bad, it's pretty obviously stinks of red herring. Yep. Really obvious.
Yep.
But enough about powerful bitches, darling. Let's move on to bewitching powers of the 7/7 kind. The stunning, statuesque, strobotronic stars with stupefying stratophagic struts kind, to be exact. For today, the brand new 7/7s will be anointed. 7 girls, and only 7, mind you, will graduate to become Intoxibellas, the pinnacle of Modelland Bella's existence, darling.
We know all this.
The grand culmination of all of her skills and powers. The chosen 7 will join the ranks of the only famous, the most celebrated, and the most admired people in the world. Their whole lives will become the stuff of jealous dreams.
Why not have an announcer at the tournament saying this?
Yeah.
It makes more sense than this, like, omniscient narrator kind of voice.
So bad. And there are certainly name-calling jealous dreamers among us, darling. Stop saying that word.
Stop saying that!
What?
Darling. There's been darling like 100 times more than there has been all the rest of the chapters this omniscient voice has been in. It's like every other line is darling. Darling. Hey, darling. Hey, darling. Guess what? Guess what? You thought wrong about Sutilda L, didn't you? Don't you feel bad about yourself?
I never saw
but guess what?
Darling.
The story's not over. There's still more stuff left. Darling.
No!
Can you believe that, darling?
No
story
way!
Left. Okay, darling, are you ready for this?
I thought it was just 100 pages of acknowledgments.
So stupid. That's how I feel. And there are certainly name-calling jealous dreamers among us, darling. Uttering the much more pejorative 7/7 nickname. You know, the one about stuck-up, straggly, strep-throated strumpets with stenchy, stupid styes.
Have we ever heard that?
Nope. Never. Why bring this up now? No reason.
None.
Because Tyra likes to talk.
It's alliteration is fun. Not like this.
Uh-oh. I'm just trying to... Okay, so we've got all these name calling.
Uh-huh.
And then Tyra proceeds to go, under their espresso, cigar smoke, and egg salad sandwich scented breaths. Why is it that bitter bitches have the worst halitosis? But let's not dwell on their mouthy stench now. Like, girl, you're yelling at us for having perspectives of people and assuming things, and here you are going, these foul-mouthed people. They don't know me.
Halitosis. Noun. Meaning offensive breath. I've never heard the word. Maybe more people use it than I realize. I've never heard that word.
Spent this whole time going, you don't know people. You know, all the people that are mean to you are obviously hurting worse than you. And then she's like, all these people are stinky breath and they're foul mouths.
Didn't she also just call them out for calling names? And
yeah.
There are certainly name-calling, jealous dreamers among us, darling.
And then she says, here's the nicknames they call us. Well, they're espresso, cigar smoke, and egg salad sandwich scented breaths. Why does that bitter bitches have the worst halitosis?
What does that say about her? Oh, it's so bad.
So bad.
It just every other sentence just undoes her message.
Yeah.
That she tries to build up and then falls off the wagon and then tries to build it up and then just falls off again.
I see that she's trying to be we are so good. We're better than that. Even when you take that attitude, you can still be the better person. You don't have to go name calling yourself. What a hypocrite. Yep. From this, at least the narrative, because we can't speak directly of Tyra, but this has to be Tyra's voice talking about her own book.
I would think.
Because it's not like some god, or I don't think it's the Mount of Modelland. It's not the Belladonna. There's got to be Tyra speaking. And this is her point of view.
The worst thing is, I don't think that she's trying to undo her own message, and she does.
She does, pretty easily.
All the time.
Because she's trying to be sassy and be like, but you don't even know. I'm cool. You can't mess with me.
Sure, darling.
Sure, darling. You undo yourself just fine.
Yells at all the people they're name calling, and then just goes and turns around and insults them.
I'd rather stick to sweet-smelling topics. So someone please get them some eucalyptus, bergamot, and
not blood oranges?
Yang, breath mint, stat. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not blood oranges, Tyra. You've got an obsession with blood oranges. I like to talk about things, not trash people. I never trash people, I'm so good. All these sticky mouth people trash talk people all the time. I don't do that.
Just call them bitter bitches!
Uh-huh. She's such a bitter bitch.
It's like the popcorn bubble. It just undoes her whole message, what she just tried to establish. It just derails and reverses her whole point.
Tyra, honey, just cut this out. Save yourself and cut out this narrative portion in all parts of
It's not helping. It's making it worse.
It's hurting you more than it's helping you. Please stop. Now, while the day of discovery can be attended by anyone and everyone, even your one-toothed cousin or hog-maw gnawing aunt, let's just keep insulting random people. The 7-7 tournament is invite only and is reserved for a chosen few. 43,347 to be exact. But who's counting? The brand new obstacle course gleams in the new stadium, ready for the upper-class Bella challengers. And there's an extra special seating section reserved for every living Intoxibella, all of whom are required to return to witness the spectacle.
And your cats?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're just the living Intoxibellas that passed.
Well, geez, forget ever changing your attitude. You're just gonna get invited to the tournament anyway.
Yeah, really.
It's we'll revert back to human. It's okay.
Get your designer shades and envy daggers ready, darling. Because your eyes will ache from all the pulchritude, from all the pulchritude concentrated into one tight space. Spell it Pulchritude.
I mean, it's a word. It means physical beauty, especially of a woman. I've, again, never heard this word. That might just be me.
Why do we have to use big words?
I've never heard it in any of, like, the English
I, as a 24-year-old, have never
the
heard
crazy
it.
wild books we've had to read for those classes.
How
never
is
heard
a
it.
15-year-old supposed to know this word?
At some point.
If I am 10 years older than that, about how is somebody who's 15 supposed to know what they mean?
How's it even work? Can you even get, like, the context from it?
Because your eyes will ache from all the pulchritude concentrated into one tight space. See, when I read pulchritude, and I thought of something like nasty, like disgusting.
Putrid. That's not even the base word, but
like, just the way the word sounds was like,
it's not a pretty
from
word.
all the ugly, or from all the jealousy, or from all the negative something. Why couldn't you just say, because your eyes will ache from all the beauty concentrated? Your eyes will ache from all the wonder, from all the majesty.
It's like, I understand throwing in
fancy words.
Fancier words. But at the same time, your audience are like 15-year-olds, I'm assuming, around that age, 15 to like 18 kind of a deal.
Yeah.
That aren't going to know these words.
Nope.
And you already had some far out ones that you're not going to hear probably ever. I mean,
we're almost done.
It's like you're just trying so hard to use a thesaurus that it's like blatantly obvious.
I need a bigger word than beauty. Here's the longest one: pulchritude. Pulchritude? I don't know how you say it. It's a big word. People will be impressed by it.
Maybe
I'm a good writer.
Maybe in other circles it's a more common word. I've never heard it. I don't know.
Maybe people who have doctorates in literary studies.
Maybe it has another meaning from like a beauty context, or if it's a word that you'd hear thrown around in like other circles. I don't know.
Backstage, powers are tested and finessed. A multiplicity mess-up where a girl spat into 2 fountains instead of splitting into 2 of herself here. A chameleon slip-up where an anxious girl accidentally transformed into an actual chameleon there. And centurios are knotted and re-knotted for good luck. And while the day of discovery selection has fixed predeterminations, like college basketball final scores.
What?
While the day of discovery selection has fixed predeterminations, like college basketball final scores. Is she saying the basketball's rigged?
Yes, that is exactly what she's saying. Because it would be...
yeah, maybe for the Harlem Globetrotters, but like... maybe that's the only basketball she's seen, though. She's like, all these tricks, they're getting away with it. It's obvious that this is rigged.
Open your eyes, ref! That's not a pregnant lady! It's a basketball under his shirt! Blow the freaking whistle!
Like, you can, like, yell about refs as much as you want and say they favor one team. But especially the score itself is not rigged.
It's almost like how she's been digging on movie stars. Now she's digging on famous athletes. Because they aren't even real. They are real, honey, like models are. Models are real.
What gets me, though, is the college one. If anything, your college players are the ones that are going to try their darn hardest to show up and actually, like, make a career out of it and try and get, like, picked up by the actual pro teams.
They're not going to follow a script.
No.
They want to get picked up.
Young college students? No, they're not. Plus, with college teams, you have rivalries between, like, the bigger schools. You have, like, huge rivalries that you're not gonna, like, just follow some, like, scripted score. No. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure she's saying the basketball is rigged.
She's 100% because it's like college basketball final scores. The 7-7 tournament is free of black market schemes, darling. Stay in your own court, please. I don't know basketball. You don't know basketball. Let's stay out of basketball and stick with modeling because you have some authority on that. All I can say is, may the best fellas win. Those who don't must return to society. No powers, no fame, no nothing. Well, if they don't have that, if they have no nothing, they have something, right? No nothing.
Yeah.
Our lucky few B-minuses will be selected to become scouts, choosing featured girls at T-Dod, as well as running errands for Modelland as the institution sees fit. But everyone else gets sent through Gannero's famed home doors. Ta-ta. For Tookie De La Crème, such options don't apply. Our favorite not-so-forget-a-no-see. She's not my favorite. Let me just break that to you. I'm so sorry. I don't like her. Is just reaching the tallest peak of Modelland and landing outside the gates. Thrilled to be back on the land. Safe, sound, happy. But maybe not for long.
What? No. Don't do that. No, don't tell us, oh, but just wait, there's more coming. Don't.
You're wrong again.
No. Make it a surprise. If you're going to have, like, a surprise twist in it, make it a surprise. Don't tell us it's coming.
Let's pretend that it's 3 pages laid out, but it's probably closer to 2 pages. Let's just pretend they don't exist. And let's just see how this would just naturally, instead of having this end break here, would just exist in the story. Let's pretend none of that just happened.
Okay.
Because I'm just, done with her. When Cetilda L's pouch landed at the Modelland gates, the area was luckily devoid of guards. Putting a finger to her lips, Cetilda L rushed Tookie, Shiraz, Piper, and Dylan to the mosaic check-in face, whispering secrets to its pouty tiled lips once more.
Why can't she just teleport them inside the gates?
That's a grand question, because magic is lawless here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's basically lawless.
Because, I guess I could understand if she can't, teleport everyone and can only teleport herself. But yeah, you're right. Magic is lawless. There are no rules to magic. She can create obelisks for some reason, so why can't she just teleport people?
Let's go back to the zip zap we came from and just fly back up through there. And then we're inside. We don't have to pass through a gate.
Yeah, and then Cetilda can't really get in trouble either.
No, nobody gets caught. It's fine. Yeah. The face let them pass.
But, guess who's going to go through the zip zap instead? I will bet.
Yeah. She's got to come back because we're not done with them.
Yeah. They didn't make it all the way up the mountain for nothing.
That's how they're getting in, is the zip zap. Yep. Boy, I can't wait. The face let them pass, whispering, authenticated, validated, and certified. And instead of entrées, said appetizer. But the gates opened all the same. They raced past the row of belladonna statues as fast as they could. In the distance, Tookie heard the sounds of drums beating, people cheering, and a non-specific frenzied rumble of activity. Hot damn, we're going to be so late, Cetilda L murmured, glancing at her Kaleido watch again. We'll probably have to stand. She paused to rub her feet. And I'm not standing, because after 3 of me running after the 4 of y'all, my dogs are killing me.
Why didn't you freaking fly? She can fly. This book makes me angry.
Shiraz looked nervous.
Please, Cetilda L, don't say the killings were gay.
As they burst onto the beautification boulevard, Tookie and the others gasped. Frantic 7-7 competitors dressed in elaborate, otherworldly couture ensembles and the most glittering, complex jewelry Tookie had ever seen. Intricate headpieces that draped over entire faces. I guess you don't have to be pretty for this one. Necklaces that swung around the wearers' necks like hula hoops. A giant tiger's eye ring that actually winked at Tookie as she passed, ran in circles around them, as if the Unikas and Cetilda L were invisible. They are so obsessed with the 7-7 tournament, they can't even see how crazy and muddy we all look right now, Tookie thought.
Good.
Which was maybe a good thing. Mannequins rushed to and fro as well, some directing traffic with hefty batons. A long line of bellas snaked around the outside of the stadium, and a mannequin doled out wristbands that assigned each bella to a specific section according to her uniform color. Devon Rump, mayor of Metopia, trundled in with dignitaries from all over Metopia's quadrants. Their wives followed, more
Just all the dignitaries are men. Feminist Tyra. Where are our women? They're all models. Trundled in with dignitaries from all of Utopia's quadrants. Their wives followed, more weighted down with fashionable wares than they had been on T-Dot the year before. After them came what looked like 100 slack-jawed civilians of all ages, staring around at Modelland in wonder and awe. Contestant winners, Tookie thought, looking at them. The people who had won the drawings that took place in every country, who got to attend the most amazing tournament in the world, in the most amazing place in the world. One of the winners raised a camera to her eyes, but a mannequin grabbed it away. Mental memories only. Another winner plucked a perfect fabric flower from the soil and cradled it in his hands. A souvenir, he gushed. A second mannequin snatched it from his hands. Pluck another, and I'll pluck you right out of here. It's crazy here at the Modelland, Shirley bellowed, dancing around in a circle. Yeah, mass hysteria, crazy times 12, the pinnacle of malevolence, chicness, and bedlam, Cetilda said in a blasé tone. Let's move it, chicas. We need to get to the stadium before they slam the doors on us. They don't let latecomers in.
They are very late.
But
they're also covered in mud, and Shiraz is just drawing attention to them, so...
Yeah, everything.
It's fine.
We're main characters. It's fine. We can get away with a lot. But Tookie couldn't help pausing for a moment and staring up at the majestic buildings all around her. She was back. She wasn't going to die, as far as you know. It was a better feeling than having cold whipped cream poured down her throat. Is it really? You hated it here. If she had time to sink to her knees and kiss the land, capitalized land, she would have.
Why is land capitalized? Oh, model land.
Cetilda paused a few paces away from the stadium and whipped around. Oh, lordy, she smacked her hand to her head. I gotta get you into your dress uniforms. Otherwise, everyone will know we were up to something.
You've also been gone for a day.
But you have so many magic powers. Why can't you transform them as you're running them back?
Yep.
Why is this a problem now? Why is this just hitting you now? You've been staring at these women the whole time.
And they've been gone overnight. If anyone's going to notice this, it will be Zizi. Zizi, who wants to cause trouble and make Tookie's life miserable. If anyone will notice, it will be her. I'm sure that all of Modelland already knows that they're gone, and Zizi has probably been spreading the rumors that they jumped the wall because they knew they didn't fit in. Now we're old.
Yep.
Guaranteed. That is what would have happened.
Yep. She pointed to Tookie. Especially you, Miss Muddy Undies Man Attacker. Okay, pit stop. She switched directions and headed for the beat. We're gonna be late and we don't want to be locked out. Time for a costume change.
Yep.
7-7 hopefuls swished by them in a herd. My Centura! One contestant screamed into Tookie's face. Where is my Centura? Did you see that skank emerald with it? Tookie just shrugged. How would she know? These words again. I tried out seduction on a Bastastro this morning. Seduction! I tried out seduction on a Bastastro this morning, and he told me I smelled like a bitch in heat. Another girl shrieked, staring morosely at the 3D replication of her that had arisen from the gold walkway. How am I going to improve my scent in a few minutes? I'm doomed too, another girl moaned. The belladonna said I was edgy and strange, with a capital E and S. I should just volunteer to be a mannequin now. I had to read along to figure out who was speaking next, because I knew it was going to be important. Tookie, guys! A voice pierced through the raccoon skin. Tookie looked over and saw Zen Zen pushing through the crowd toward them. She had a fuchsia puffy sleeve dress that spelled out Zentilda in 3D. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened to me during Go-See Go. She lifted her foot and showed off a glittering tan platform heel with long black shingles. Maurizio, shoe designer to the Intoxibellas, created a shoe just for me. He calls it the Zenletto. Like them? Love them. Tookie grabbed Zenzen's hand and glanced at the stadium. Wow, you're finally competing. Are you excited? Excited, but scared. Well, excited and scared.
And he made me feel excited, well, excited and scared.
Zen Zen giggled nervously. Then she noticed Cetilda beside Tookie. Her straight black hair instantly morphed to mimic Cetilda's lustrous auburn waves.
See, Tilda, she cried. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. I keep trying to stay myself, but I keep turning into you. Do you think that's okay? I mean, my power is chameleon. See, Tilda touched Zen Zen's head, transforming her hair back to its authentic black. You're using the power wrong way. You're using the power wrong, honey. Chameleon is the ability to assume different looks, not to impersonate another Intoxibella. People want an original, not a knockoff. Ouch! The real you is far more special than the you who tries to be me. Zen Zen pressed her hand to her breast. Do you really think so? Zen Zen, girl, you are way more beautiful than I could ever be. If I was insecure, I'd be changing into you. Every single day. See, Tilda L smiled. Beautifully. I'm guessing it's lovely.
Beautifully,
yeah.
what I'm guessing, beatific. Oh, that's why it comes from beatific, which is like bestowing bliss, blessings, happiness, or delight. Beatific peace, blissful, saintly, a beatific smile. Like, I've heard it, but like now, like looking back at it, it makes me question how I say things. I'm like,
Tookie couldn't help but grin too. There was something so different about C. Tilda L. ever since she shared the story about her dead friends and told them goodbye. It was like a huge weight had been lifted from her shoulders because people just changed instantly. They can just let go of things like that. That's what normal people can do. That's how you cure mental illness, Kaylee. As you just get better.
you tell someone and you're healed.
Yep, you tell somebody stop feeling depressed and, oh, gee, thanks. I didn't think of that before. This is so great. Thanks, friend. I'm no longer depressed. I'm glad you're healed. It's just like, need time and potentially therapy and meditation.
They're just 180s everywhere.
Just
All of them just make 180s.
Unbelievable character changes. Then a horn sounded, and Zenzen's eyes widened. Oh my god, that's for me! I have to go! Zenzen's hair then began zapping back and forth between black and auburn. Zenzen! C. Tilda L. said both sternly and lovingly. Zenzen paused, squeezed her eyes shut tightly, and shook her head hard left to right. Her black long tresses returned, and she ran toward her Bella mates. Smoke the competition, girl! Dylan yelled after her. Finally, they made it to the D. C. Tilda L. shuttled them into their bedrooms and flung open their various closet doors. Inside each closet was a shimmering two-tone green leotard bodice with a deep V-neck and a stiff floor-length skirt with a long slit in the front, exposing their bare legs. Information dumped on the screen, leotard. Yep, that's what I remember. Yep. There were green thigh-high boots as well. A green leotard with thigh-high boots. Great. Dress fast, C. Tilda L. commanded, and don't forget your cintura. Once they dressed, C. Tilda L., now clad in the same outfit as the Unikas,
Remember, she has to wear their uniform. It's punishment, I guess.
That's right. I forgot about that unnecessary plot point.
Yep.
Now clad in the same outfit as the Unikas, hurried them out onto Beautification Boulevard once more. But eerily, the courtyard was empty. The golden walkway was as smooth as glass. The tree branches rustled quietly in the breeze. The hedge faces frowned disparagingly at C. Tilda L. and her charges. You're too late, one now. Not if I can help it, C. Tilda L. said through her teeth, yanking Tookie's wrist and pulling her forward. You four are seeing that ceremony if I had to teleport your butts inside. Why didn't you do that in the first place? You have these powers, and you are a lawless person.
In a lawless world.
In a lawless world, you could teleport yourself inside, and people give you crap, be like, I'm a 777, shut up. Emotional listen.
Just play the I'm nuts card. They can't argue
or
with
just
that.
play the, I'm like a Looney Luna card and just roll with it. Or like a Princess Winter. Just be Princess Winter for the rest of this.
But that's a character that's well done and well done crazy. And this is not.
Nope. They sprinted toward the stadium, but were too late. Two mannequins had just shut the big iron doors. Maybe they didn't want to change.
Maybe if you just teleported yourselves back.
Yeah, maybe just teleported the whole time.
Yeah.
Damn it! C. Tilda yelled as she stomped her foot. Piper suddenly froze. What was that? The others, even Tilda, stopped and stared at her. What was what? Dylan asked. That noise. Piper gestured at the wall. I heard something on the other side. Tookie listened hard, which wasn't easy over the cheers from the stadium. But then she heard a gurgle, too, and a snapping twig. Whatever it was sounded close. Oh my God, Piper shrieked. Look! Shiraz, Dylan, and Tookie followed her gaze. On the top of the wall was a sooty, skeletal, groping hand. Everyone shrieked and jumped away. 5 angry fingers twitched as though stricken with palsy. When its second hand appeared, the girls grabbed one another. This hand's flesh was filthy and bloody. Each fingernail was long, comma-shaped, and obsidian bullet. They looked like the talons of a prehistoric flesh-eating bird. The top of a muddy head appeared next, followed by 2 bulbous, demonic, cruddy eyes. Everyone screamed and took another step back. You know what we're getting at? I think so. 2 shoulders appeared next in the wall, then an abdomen and legs. As the figure caught sight of them, its eyes widened. A growl emitted from the depths of its belly. Piper gasped. It's a lake gizzard! They killed my father! Now prepare to die!
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
It's a lake gizzard! They killed my father! And now one's coming for me! Tears streamed down the face of the normally stoic girl. What? That's impossible, Tilda L whispered, placing her hands authoritatively on her hips. But even she took one timid step backward. The figure hefted its body on top of the wall, and then dropped down in front of them in a cloud of dust to rest on its haunches. It had a gnarled, hunched back. It licked its lips as if it had eaten for days, and considered them an acceptable meal. Thick saliva dripped down its chin. Piper shrank behind Dylan. Tookie squeezed her hand. The scaly, charred monster turned and stared directly at Tookie. Its sooty eyes narrowed, and hundreds of cracks of dry mud covered its face. Tookie's gaze fell to the monster's hands. They were filthy. There was a filthy, tattered doll tucked under its arm. A doll Tookie knew all too well. Uh-oh. This wasn't a lizard. It was creamy? Tookie cried and promptly passed out.
Wait, so it's not the lizard.
It wasn't
it's creamy.
Creamy was.
Oh, she must be looking rough.
Yeah, because what was a sooty, skeletal, groping hand. So her one hand is like.
See, I was expecting to be creamy, and then it was the lizard. I'm like, oh yeah,
okay.
hunching over, like they call the guy Hunchy, and like
yeah.
Interesting. Oh dear. Yeah, she must be really looking worse for wear.
What was the last thing that had happened to them?
They killed off everyone else.
Yeah.
With
There was something that separated them from the lake gizzard.
Yeah, they had fireballs flying at them.
Oh, that's right. So she's
what's throwing the fireballs?
The mountain. Oh, the mountain can throw fireballs.
It's a lawless world.
Very lawless world. So yeah, so she's been charred and beaten severely by this lawless land. And
okay. Also,
she looks like a zombie.
I thought there was like a ton of like defenses around Modelland.
Yeah, apparently they've crossed them all. Said,
and they didn't bother to defend the wall.
Nope.
What about like whatever the hell lightning that turns the wall invisible? Doesn't that like have like a way to like stop people and things from going in?
Nope. Because I guess nobody's watching it if it was all the Belladonna doing it. And they're all busy with the 7th Century. Everybody's distracted. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a fun group of chapters. And I'm happy that we've called everything up to this point.
I'm happy they're done. I'm happy those chapters are behind us.
Don't worry, we've still got 7 more. I'm sure they're plenty entertaining. Almost done, guys. Almost done. Almost done reading it. So, if you're intrigued by what you've heard today, leave a comment down in the comment section below and let us know what you think of this trio of chapters that were quite terrifying and odd. Not as terrifying as others, but still terrifying.
Frustrating. They're frustrating chapters.
Make sure you like and subscribe and let us know if this is something more of what you want, because we're about done with Modelland. I don't know how many other books we're going to be willing to jump back into, but maybe someday.
We've got plenty of books from our childhood we could probably revisit and go,
And probably rip to shreds.
rip to shreds and cry about it because there are books that we loved, I'm sure, that are just as bad as this. If it's something you guys are interested in, let us know below. We could read our own books and write up summaries, and this is taking a toll on our sanity, and we might have to retire after this. So anyways, thanks guys for hanging out with us and enjoying another couple chapters of Modelland, and we'll see you guys later. Bye!